Success is about doing the ordinary things extraordinarily well. Master the basics, and you'll find yourself achieving what you once thought impossible. Success isn't about having all the answers or waiting for the perfect moment. It's not about finding some hidden secret or quick fix. The truth is, success is built on mastering the basics, the everyday habits and actions that we often overlook. When you get the fundamentals right, everything else starts to fall into place. But here's the catch. Most people never focus on the basics. They're too busy looking for shortcuts or complicated solutions. But what if I told you that by simply mastering a few key areas of your life, you could start seeing real change? Small adjustments in how you manage your time, how you take care of your health, how you set goals, and how you approach failure can make a huge difference. When you get these fundamentals right, everything becomes easier. Life starts to work for you instead of against you. In this video, we're going to break down the core principles of life and success, things you can start applying right now to create lasting change. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about making simple everyday choices that build a foundation for everything you want to achieve. So if you're ready to take control, to stop feeling stuck, and to start moving toward the life you've always wanted, stick with me. We're going to dive deep into what it really takes to master the basics. And I promise, once you understand these, success will begin to follow naturally. Number 1, discipline, the foundation of all achievement. That's it. If you don't have discipline, nothing else matters. Not talent, not intelligence, not ambition. Because without discipline, none of those things can be applied consistently. Most people go through life waiting to feel ready. They wait for motivation. They wait for the right moment. But I'll tell you something important. If you wait until you feel like it, you'll never get anywhere. That's what separates successful people from those who stay stuck. They don't let feelings control their actions. They don't let a bad mood, laziness, or distractions dictate what they do. They decide what needs to be done, and they do it. That's the secret. That's how people succeed in business, in fitness, in personal growth, whatever it is. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's discipline. Now, I want you to ask yourself something. How many times have you made a plan to change something in your life, and a few days later you gave up? Maybe you said you'd wake up early, but you kept hitting the snooze button. Maybe you started a diet, but a week later you made excuses and went back to old habits. That's the problem. People think discipline is about making a big promise, but it's not. It's about keeping small promises to yourself every single day. Because when you break those little promises, when you say you'll do something but don't, you train your mind to accept failure. And once you do that enough times, it becomes who you are. You stop believing in yourself. You have to break that cycle. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Discipline is about taking control of yourself. And I'll tell you, once you master this, life becomes easier. I know that sounds strange. You might think discipline makes life harder because you have to push yourself. But no, it's the opposite. Discipline makes life easier because you eliminate the chaos. Think about it. Without discipline, you're always behind. You're always scrambling, always making excuses, always feeling guilty about what you didn't do. But when you have discipline, there's no guessing. You know exactly what needs to be done, and you do it. No stress, no guilt, just results. And let me tell you, discipline isn't just about big goals like starting a business or getting in shape. It's about the small things too. Can you wake up when you said you would? Can you follow a schedule? Can you control your time, your habits, your emotions? If you can't manage the little things, you won't be able to handle the big things. Let's talk about excuses. People love to justify their lack of discipline. They say, I'm just not a morning person, or I don't have time, or I'm too tired. Listen to me. Those are all lies you tell yourself to stay comfortable. Discipline means you stop making excuses. You don't need to be a morning person to wake up early. You don't need more time. You need to use the time you have wisely. And being tired, everybody's tired. The difference is, some people push through it, and others let it stop them. You see, success isn't about feeling good all the time. It's about doing what's necessary, even when you don't feel like it. And I know that's tough. I know there will be days when you want to quit, days when you don't see the results yet, and you wonder if it's even worth it. But let me ask you something. Where will you be in a year if you quit today? exactly where you are now. And if that thought bothers you, then you know what you need to do. Now let me give you something practical. If you struggle with discipline, start with just one habit. Wake up at the same time every day, no matter what. That's it. Just do that for 1 month. And when you master that, add something else. Maybe it's working out every day. Maybe it's setting a strict schedule for your work. It doesn't matter where you start, as long as you start. And the key is, no exceptions. Because the moment you let yourself off the hook, even just once, you open the door for excuses again. Discipline isn't about punishment. It's about freedom. Most people don't understand that. They think rules and structure make life harder, but they don't. They make life better. They give you control. Because without discipline, life controls you. You wake up late, you rush through your day, you waste time, and at the end of it, you have nothing to show for it. But with discipline, you wake up early, you stay on track, you make progress, and by the end of the day, you feel accomplished. You have 2 choices in life: suffer the pain of discipline, or suffer the pain of regret. One lasts a few moments, the other lasts a lifetime. Think about that. Think about where you want to be in 5 years. Think about the person you want to become. And then realize that it starts today, right now, not tomorrow, not next week, right now. So from this moment forward, no more waiting, no more excuses, no more wasting time. Build the discipline, and everything else will fall into place. You owe it to yourself to be great. And the only way to do that is to show up, do the work, and never stop pushing forward. Number 2, building strong character. Who you are matters. Who you are when no one is watching. The way you handle pressure, the way you treat people, the way you respond to challenges. It all comes down to character. And I'll tell you right now, if you don't build strong character, life will break you. Because success isn't just about skills or talent. It's about the kind of person you become. Think about the people you respect the most, the ones who inspire you, the ones you look up to. What is it about them that makes them stand out? It's not just their accomplishments, it's their discipline, their integrity, their consistency. It's the way they carry themselves. It's the way they stand firm on their principles, even when it's not easy. Character is built through the choices you make every day. It's built when you decide to do the right thing, even when no one would know if you did the wrong thing. It's built when you keep your word, even when it's inconvenient. It's built when you refuse to take shortcuts, because you know that easy roads lead to empty victories. The truth is, we live in a world where a lot of people want quick success. They want to win without putting in the work. They want results without sacrifice. And that's why so many people fail in the long run. Because without character, success is temporary. You see it all the time. People who rise quickly, but fall even faster. People who build a name for themselves, only to destroy it because they lack the discipline to do what's right. It's not enough to succeed. You have to be the kind of person who can handle success. So how do you build strong character? You start by being honest with yourself. Look at your life right now. Look at your habits, your actions, your decisions. Are they aligned with the kind of person you want to be? Or are you cutting corners? Are you making excuses? Are you blaming circumstances instead of taking responsibility? Because let me tell you something, strong character isn't given, it's earned. You don't wake up one day and suddenly have integrity, discipline, or mental toughness. You build it. Every time you choose to show up when it's hard, you're building character. Every time you refuse to take the easy way out, you're building character. Every time you push through discomfort, instead of running from it, you're building character. And let's be real, building character is not comfortable. It's not easy. It's uncomfortable to take responsibility for your mistakes. It's uncomfortable to admit when you're wrong. It's uncomfortable to hold yourself to a higher standard when no one else is. But that's what separates people who truly succeed from those who just get by. There will be moments in your life when your character is tested. Moments when you have the chance to do the right thing, or the easy thing. And in those moments, you have to decide, who do you want to be? Do you want to be someone who makes excuses, or someone who takes ownership? Do you want to be someone who blames others, or someone who stands up and takes control of their life? Because at the end of the day, your character determines everything. It determines your reputation. It determines the opportunities you get. It determines the relationships you have. If people can't trust you, if they can't count on you to be consistent,
If they see that you only do the right thing when it benefits you, then you'll always be limited. But if you're someone who is reliable, if you're someone who stands for something, if you're someone who has the discipline to do what's right, even when it's hard, doors will open for you. People will respect you. Opportunities will come your way, not just because of what you know, but because of who you are. And listen, I know it's not easy to build strong character in a world that encourages shortcuts. In a world where people tell you that it's okay to cut corners as long as you get ahead. But let me tell you something. There is no real success without integrity. There is no lasting achievement without discipline. So don't just focus on what you're achieving. Focus on who you're becoming. Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters. If you want a strong future, start by building strong character. Decide today that you will be the kind of person who does the right thing, no matter what. Decide today that you will be the kind of person who is known for their consistency, their honesty, and their work ethic, because that is what will separate you from the rest.
Number 3, setting clear goals. Know where you're going. If you don't know where you're going, how do you expect to get there? That's the question I want you to ask yourself today. Because so many people go through life drifting. No direction, no real plan, just hoping that one day things will somehow work out. But life doesn't work that way. If you don't set clear goals, you'll end up wherever life takes you. And let me tell you, that's a dangerous place to be. Think about it. Imagine getting into your car with no destination in mind. You just start driving, hoping you'll end up somewhere good. Maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe you won't. But more than likely, you'll waste time, waste gas, and end up frustrated because you didn't have a plan. Life is the same way. You need a destination. You need a clear, specific goal that gives you direction, that gives you purpose, that gives you something to work toward every single day. The problem is, most people don't set real goals. They have wishes. They say things like, I want to be successful, or I want to be rich, or I want to be happy. But that's not a goal. That's a vague idea. A goal is specific. A goal is measurable. A goal has a deadline. If you say you want to make more money, that's not a goal. But if you say, I want to earn an extra $50,000 in the next 12 months, now you have something real, something you can measure, something you can track. And here's the key, you have to write it down. It's not enough to just think about it. Get a notebook, get a piece of paper, and write down exactly what you want. Not just in one area of life, but in all areas. Your finances, your health, your relationships, your personal growth. Be clear, be specific, and don't be afraid to aim high. The problem isn't that people set their goals too high and fail. The problem is that they set them too low and succeed. When you write your goals, don't just focus on what you want. Focus on why you want it. That's the fuel. That's the thing that's going to keep you going when things get hard. Because listen, goals don't just happen. You don't write them down and magically wake up one day with everything you wanted. You have to put in the work, and work gets hard. There will be days when you don't feel like it. There will be days when you doubt yourself. There will be days when it feels like you're not making progress. That's when you need a strong reason to keep pushing. Most people fail to reach their goals because they don't have a big enough reason to achieve them. If your goal is just a nice idea, something that would be cool to have, you won't do what it takes. But if your goal is deeply important to you, if it's something that truly matters, you'll find a way. You won't let excuses stop you. You won't let setbacks keep you down. You'll get up and keep going, no matter what. Once you know what you want and why you want it, the next step is to break it down into smaller steps. See, a lot of people get overwhelmed by their goals. They look at the big picture and think, how am I ever going to do this? And because it feels impossible, they never start. But the way you accomplish big things is by breaking them into small, manageable steps. If your goal is to lose 50 pounds, don't focus on the whole 50. Focus on losing the first 5. Then the next 5, step by step, day by day, you get closer. And here's something else you need to understand. Goals require deadlines. If you don't put a time limit on your goal, it's just a dream. When you say, I'll do it someday, that means never. You need to decide exactly when you're going to accomplish it. A deadline creates urgency. It forces you to take action. It keeps you accountable. Now here's the reality. When you start chasing a goal, you're going to run into obstacles. Things won't always go as planned. You'll face challenges.
You'll have setbacks, but setbacks are not failures. They are part of the process. The only way you fail is if you quit. Every successful person you admire has faced obstacles. The difference is, they didn't let those obstacles stop them. They adjusted. They learned. They kept going. And that's what you have to do. If something isn't working, don't give up. Find another way. If you fall behind, don't quit. Keep pushing forward. The road to success is not a straight line. It's full of twists, turns, and roadblocks. But if you stay committed, if you refuse to quit, you will get there. Another thing to remember is that goals aren't just about the end result. They're about who you become in the process. The real value of setting goals isn't just achieving them. It's the growth that happens along the way. When you set a goal and commit to it, you develop discipline, you build confidence, you strengthen your mindset, and that is what truly changes your life. Number 4, the power of focus. Avoid distractions. The ability to focus is one of the most important skills you can develop. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Your phone, social media, emails, notifications. There's always something pulling your attention away from what really matters. And if you don't learn how to take control of your focus, life will control it for you. You'll wake up one day and wonder why you haven't made progress. You'll wonder where all the time went. And the truth is, it didn't go anywhere. It was just wasted on things that didn't move you forward. Most people don't struggle with a lack of ambition. They don't struggle with a lack of ideas. They struggle with staying focused on what truly matters. They start something, but then they get distracted. They set a goal, but then they let 100 little things pull them away from it. And because of that, they never make real progress. If you want to be successful, you have to learn how to focus. You have to train yourself to block out the noise, to ignore the distractions, and to put your energy into the things that actually move you forward. The first thing you have to understand is that focus is a choice. It's not something you're born with. It's not something that just happens. It's something you have to decide on every single day. You have to wake up and say, this is what I'm working on. This is what's important. And I'm not going to let anything pull me away from it. That kind of mindset separates people who achieve their goals from people who just talk about them. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to do too many things at once. They spread themselves too thin. They have 10 different goals, 20 different projects, and they wonder why they never make real progress on anything. The truth is, success comes from focusing on a few things and doing them well. If you're trying to do everything, you're not really doing anything. You need to narrow your focus. You need to decide what's truly important and give it your full attention. Think about the most successful people in the world. They didn't get there by being scattered. They got there by focusing on one thing, by putting in the work, by refusing to be distracted. They knew what they wanted, and they stayed locked in on it until they made it happen. That's what you have to do. You have to decide what's most important in your life and commit to it fully. Distractions will always be there. They're not going away. The world is only going to get noisier. Technology is only going to get better at pulling your attention in 100 different directions. But you have to be stronger than the distractions. You have to take control of your own mind. That means setting boundaries. That means turning off notifications, putting your phone away, and creating an environment that helps you stay focused. It also means learning to say no. A lot of people struggle with focus because they say yes to too many things. They take on too many commitments. They try to please everyone. And because of that, they never have the time or energy to focus on what truly matters. If you want to be successful, you have to protect your time. You have to learn to say no to the things that don't align with your goals. Because every time you say yes to something unimportant, you're saying no to something that could change your life. Another thing that destroys focus is a lack of clear priorities. If you don't know what's most important, you'll spend your days reacting instead of acting. You'll bounce from one task to another, always busy but never really making progress. You need to take control of your time. You need to decide what matters most and structure your day around it. Every morning you should know exactly what you're working on. You should have a plan, because if you don't, the day will control you, instead of you controlling the day. Focus also requires discipline. There will be times when you don't feel like working, times when you get bored, times when you want to take a break, check your phone, scroll through social media. And if you give in to those moments, you'll lose momentum. You have to train yourself to push through. You have to build the discipline to stay locked in on your work, even when it's not exciting. Because the truth is, success isn't always exciting. Most of the time, it's just consistent effort. Day after day, staying focused, even when it feels boring. The good news is, focus is like a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it gets. At first, it might feel difficult. You might catch yourself getting distracted over and over again. But if you keep working at it, you'll get better. You'll learn how to stay locked in. You'll develop the ability to work for hours without distraction. And that's when you start making real progress. So ask yourself right now, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the things that will move your life forward? Or are you letting distractions steal your time? Are you putting your energy into what truly matters? Or are you spreading yourself too thin? If you're not making the progress you want, it's probably not because you're not capable. It's probably not because you're not smart enough or talented enough. It's because you're not focused enough.
Number 5, the importance of health. Take care of your body. It's about giving yourself the best chance to succeed in every other area of your life. If your health isn't in check, it doesn't matter how ambitious you are or how great your goals are. You won't have the energy or the clarity of mind to pursue them. Health is a fundamental part of success. If you're not feeling your best, you'll find it harder to stay focused, stay disciplined, and push through the challenges that come your way. Now I get it. Everyone's busy. We all have our to-do lists, our commitments, our responsibilities. But here's the truth. If you don't make time for your health, you're eventually going to run out of time. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day hustle and forget that your body is your most valuable asset. Without it, you have nothing. The thing is, we take our bodies for granted. We think we're invincible, that we'll always feel good, that we can always push ourselves without consequences. But eventually, the body will remind you that it needs care. It's easy to neglect your health when there are so many other things competing for your attention. You tell yourself, I'll work out tomorrow, or I'll eat better next week, or I don't have time to rest. But that's a dangerous mindset, because without your health, you're not going to get far in life. Your success is directly tied to how well you treat yourself. One of the first things I want to emphasize is that health is not just about physical fitness. Sure, exercise is incredibly important, but there's more to health than just lifting weights or running. Mental health is just as important, and it's something that too many people overlook. If you're constantly stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, that's going to impact your physical health as well. And if you're not mentally well, you'll find it much harder to stay disciplined, make decisions, and stay on track with your goals. Let's talk about exercise for a minute. Moving your body doesn't have to mean spending hours in the gym every day. It can mean walking, stretching, doing yoga, or just playing a sport you enjoy. The key is consistency. Even if you can only commit to 20 minutes, 30 minutes a few times a week, that's better than nothing. Regular exercise keeps your body strong and helps clear your mind. It increases your energy, boosts your mood, and helps you sleep better at night. Exercise is one of the best things you can do for your overall health, and it doesn't require perfection or intense workouts every day. You just have to make the commitment to move your body regularly. Now let's talk about food. It's not about going on a strict diet or depriving yourself of things you love. It's about making better choices. Eating for energy, eating for health, eating for longevity. Your body needs fuel to function properly. And if you're constantly putting junk in, you're going to feel the consequences. The food you eat impacts your mental clarity, your energy levels, and your mood. If you're always tired, sluggish, or foggy-headed, chances are it's because of your diet. The good news is, you don't have to completely overhaul your eating habits overnight. But making small, consistent improvements can have a huge impact on your health and well-being. Try cutting out some processed foods, eating more vegetables, and drinking more water. These small changes add up. Let me tell you something else. Sleep is non-negotiable. You can't burn the candle at both ends and expect to perform at your best. You need rest. You need recovery. Sleep is when your body heals itself,
when your mind processes everything that's happened during the day, and when you recharge for the next one. If you're not getting enough sleep, you're not giving your body the opportunity to perform at its best. And if you're constantly running on empty, you'll start to see the negative effects in your energy levels, your focus, and even your mood. Here's the thing. If you want to be successful, you need to give yourself the best shot at success. And that starts with taking care of your health. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. When you feel good physically and mentally, everything else falls into place. You have more energy to put toward your goals. You have the clarity to make decisions. You have the focus and determination to push through challenges. And most importantly, you feel better about yourself. Now, I'm not saying you need to be perfect. Perfection is a trap that keeps people stuck. It's not about being perfect every day. It's about making progress. It's about making better choices more often than not. And when you slip up, don't beat yourself up. Get back on track. Don't let one bad meal or one missed workout derail your whole routine. Life happens. It's all about consistency over time. And one more thing, surround yourself with people who value their health. Your environment plays a huge role in your success. If you're hanging around people who are unhealthy, who don't prioritize their health, it becomes that much harder for you to stay committed to yours. You want to be around people who inspire you to be better, who encourage you to take care of yourself, who support your journey toward better health. Taking care of your health isn't just about looking good or feeling good in the moment. It's about giving yourself the foundation for success. It's about building the energy, strength, and clarity you need to go after your goals with everything you've got. Because when you feel good, when you take care of your body and mind, nothing can stop you. You have the power to achieve whatever you set out to do. And it all starts with taking care of the one thing that makes it possible, your health. Number 6, the role of attitude. Your mindset shapes your life. Your attitude is one of the most powerful forces in your life. It shapes how you see the world, how you approach challenges, and how you interact with others. It influences every decision you make and determines the course of your life. That's why your attitude is such an essential part of your success. It's not just about how you feel in the moment. It's about how you choose to respond to life's circumstances. And believe me, you can choose to have a positive, growth-oriented attitude, no matter what life throws at you. When you wake up in the morning, you set the tone for your day. Your attitude in those first moments is critical. Do you start the day by thinking about what you don't want to do, what's going wrong, or how tired you are? Or do you decide that today will be a day to move forward, to be productive, to embrace whatever comes with a positive outlook? How you begin your day matters. The first thoughts you have in the morning will guide the rest of your actions. That's why it's important to be intentional with your attitude. It's a choice you make. Your mindset is everything. If you have a fixed mindset, you believe that your abilities, intelligence, and qualities are set in stone. You think that you're either good at something or you're not, and there's no way to change that. But with a growth mindset, you understand that you can improve with effort, practice, and perseverance. You believe that you have the power to learn, to grow, and to overcome any obstacles in your path. And the beautiful thing is, your mindset is within your control. You get to decide what kind of mindset you're going to have every day. One of the most important aspects of attitude is how you handle adversity. Life is never going to be a straight path. You will face setbacks, disappointments, and failures along the way. But it's not the setbacks that define you, it's how you respond to them. Do you let adversity knock you down and keep you there? Or do you use it as an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to get better? A positive attitude allows you to see setbacks as stepping stones, not roadblocks. It gives you the strength to rise above the challenges and keep moving forward. Your attitude also plays a huge role in how you interact with other people. Are you someone who lifts others up, or are you constantly tearing them down with negative thoughts and words? A positive attitude attracts positive people. It creates an environment where growth and collaboration can flourish. When you have a positive attitude, you create a ripple effect that extends to everyone around you. You inspire others to do their best, to be their best. And the best part is, The more you lift others up, the more you uplift yourself. Attitude is also about self-belief. You have to believe in your own potential. You have to believe that you are worthy of success, that you have what it takes to achieve your goals. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will either. Self-doubt is one of the biggest barriers to success. It keeps you stuck in fear, hesitation, and uncertainty. But when you cultivate a positive attitude, you replace self-doubt with self-confidence. You trust in your abilities, in your capacity to learn, to adapt, and to overcome.
Let me be clear, having a positive attitude doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending that everything is always perfect. It doesn't mean you won't have bad days, or face tough challenges, or experience pain and disappointment. It means that you choose to face those things with a mindset of hope, perseverance, and resilience. It means that you choose to believe that you can get through anything, that no matter how hard life gets, you have the strength to keep going. One of the most effective ways to build a positive attitude is through gratitude. It's easy to focus on what's going wrong in your life, to get caught up in your struggles and frustrations. But when you shift your focus to what's going right, when you take the time to appreciate the good things you have, you begin to change your perspective. Gratitude changes your attitude. It reminds you of the abundance in your life, and it shifts your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. Gratitude also helps you to stay grounded in the present moment. It's easy to get overwhelmed by thinking about everything you have to do in the future, or dwelling on past mistakes. But when you focus on the present, when you appreciate the things that are working in your life right now, you can find peace, you can find joy, and that joy will fuel your attitude, helping you to stay positive even in the face of adversity. Another key to a positive attitude is managing your emotions. Emotions can be powerful, and they can easily take over if you let them. But when you learn to manage your emotions, to not let them control your actions, you empower yourself to make better decisions. You learn to respond to situations with calm, clarity, and purpose, rather than reacting impulsively. You start to realize that you don't have to be a slave to your emotions. You can choose how you feel and how you react. Building a positive attitude also requires taking responsibility for your life. Stop blaming others, stop making excuses, and stop waiting for someone else to change your circumstances. The only person who can change your life is you. It's your actions, your choices, and your attitude that determine. Well, may you take responsibility for your own life. You empower yourself to create the future you want. The truth is, life is going to keep throwing challenges your way. There's no way to avoid difficulty, no way to escape adversity. But you don't have to face it alone. You have the power to decide how you approach each challenge. And with the right attitude, you can turn even the toughest situations into opportunities for growth. You can learn from your mistakes, build resilience, and develop the strength to face anything that comes your way. Ultimately, your attitude will determine your level of success. If you approach life with a positive, growth-oriented attitude, you'll be more likely to achieve your goals, build meaningful relationships, and live a fulfilling life. But if you approach life with a negative attitude, always focusing on the obstacles, the problems, and the challenges, you'll find it much harder to get anywhere. Your attitude is the lens through which you view the world, and it has the power to shape everything in your life. So how do you cultivate a positive attitude? Start by changing the way you think. Start by choosing to believe in yourself, even when things get tough. Start by focusing on the good, not the bad. Start by taking responsibility for your life, and stop waiting for things to change. Start by practicing gratitude, managing your emotions, and taking action toward your goals every day. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a process. But I promise you, if you commit to developing a positive attitude, your life will transform. The challenges will still come, but you'll face them with confidence, resilience, and a sense of purpose. And that's when true success begins. Number 7, managing money wisely, financial discipline. The way you manage your money speaks volumes about your mindset and discipline. You see, it's not just about how much you earn, It's about how you handle what you've got. Financial discipline is one of the most important skills you can develop in your life. Because without it, even the largest paycheck can slip through your fingers. It doesn't matter how much money you have. What matters is how you use it, how you save it, how you invest it, and most importantly, how you think about it. Financial discipline isn't something that's taught in schools, but it's something we can all learn, and it can change your entire financial future if you take it seriously. The first step in financial discipline is understanding that money is a tool, not the goal. A lot of people get caught up in thinking that money is the ultimate measure of success, but that's just not true. The real goal is to create a life that is aligned with your values, a life that reflects what you care about, and money is simply a means to make that happen. When you get clear on your values, you start to make better decisions with your money. You stop spending on things that don't align with your true priorities and start investing in what truly matters. Financial discipline starts with clarity around what you want out of life. Too many people live in a constant state of financial chaos, jumping from one purchase to the next without really thinking about it. They don't have a budget, they don't know where their money is going, and they certainly don't have a plan for saving or investing. And that's how financial stress builds. When you don't take control of your money, money takes control of you. The stress of living paycheck to paycheck can feel overwhelming, and the fear of not having enough can keep you up at night. But it doesn't have to be that way. The first thing you can do to take control of your finances is to create a budget. A budget is simply a tool that helps you understand where your money is going and make intentional choices about how you spend it. It's a simple idea, but one that many people avoid because they think it's too restrictive or that it'll cramp their style. But the truth is, a budget gives you freedom. It gives you the freedom to spend your money without guilt, knowing that you're in control. A budget doesn't mean you can't have fun or buy things you enjoy. It just means you're making intentional decisions about where your money goes. When you create a budget, start by tracking your income and your expenses. You have to know exactly how much money is coming in and how much is going out. This is where a lot of people slip up. They underestimate their spending or forget about certain expenses, and suddenly they're in debt or wondering where their money went. But when you track your spending, you start to see the patterns and can make adjustments. Maybe you're spending more on dining out than you realized, or maybe you're paying for subscriptions you no longer use. Once you identify these areas, you can make conscious decisions to cut back, saving that money for things that will truly benefit you in the long run. Once you have a clear picture of your income and expenses, the next step is to create a savings plan. You need to have money set aside for emergencies, for future goals, and for the opportunities that come your way. This is where discipline really starts to come into play. It's easy to spend money as soon as you get it, but disciplined people prioritize saving first. They understand that their future self will thank them for it. Saving isn't just about putting money in the bank. It's about building a financial foundation that will allow you to live life on your terms. When you have a savings buffer, you have the peace of mind that comes from knowing you can weather any storm. One of the best pieces of financial advice I can give you is to pay yourself first. This means that before you pay your bills or buy anything, you set aside a portion of your income for savings. Start small if you need to, but start. Even setting aside just 10% of your income can make a big difference over time. The key is consistency. If you make saving a priority, it will become a habit. And over time, you'll be amazed at how much you've accumulated just by being disciplined with your savings. But it's not just about saving money. It's also about using your money wisely. Financial discipline means being smart with how you spend your money. This is where investing comes in. Once you've built up a solid savings foundation, it's time to start thinking about how to make your money work for you. Whether it's through stocks, bonds, real estate, or other investment vehicles, the goal is to grow your wealth over time. The earlier you start investing, the more time your money has to grow, and that's the real power of investing. It's not about trying to get rich quick. It's about consistently building wealth over the long term. But you have to be strategic about your investments. You can't just throw your money into anything and hope it grows. This is where financial literacy comes into play. Educate yourself about different investment options and how they work. Learn about risk, learn about diversification, and most importantly, learn how to protect your investments. It's about making informed decisions that align with your goals and your risk tolerance. And remember, the key is consistency. It's not about getting lucky or finding the next big thing. It's about steady, disciplined growth over time. In addition to saving and investing,
Managing debt is another crucial aspect of financial discipline. Debt can be a major obstacle to achieving financial freedom, so it's important to manage it wisely. The first step in managing debt is to avoid taking on new debt unless absolutely necessary. Too many people use credit cards and loans as a way to live beyond their means, and before they know it, they're buried in debt with high interest rates that they can't pay off. The key to financial discipline is living within your means. Don't buy things you can't afford just to keep up with others or to satisfy short-term desires. Instead, focus on building wealth and making sure your spending aligns with your long-term goals. If you already have debt, the next step is to create a plan to pay it off. Start by paying off high-interest debt first, such as credit card debt. This will save you money in the long run and help you get out of debt faster. It's also a good idea to focus on paying off smaller debts first, so you can build momentum and see progress. But no matter how you do it, the key is to stay disciplined and stay focused. The more you prioritize paying off your debt, the sooner you'll be free from it, and the more you'll be able to focus on building wealth. Finally, financial discipline is about having the right mindset. It's about understanding that money is a tool, not the goal. It's about making choices that align with your values and your long-term goals, not just your immediate desires. It's about being consistent, being patient, and being willing to make sacrifices in the short term for the benefit of your future. Financial discipline isn't easy, but it's absolutely worth it. When you take control of your finances, you take control of your life. You can build the life you want, a life of financial freedom and security, and that's one of the most empowering things you can do. Number 8, learning from failure. Turning setbacks into growth. It's one of the greatest qualities you can have, and it's often the difference between success and failure. Life is tough. We all face challenges, but it's not the challenges themselves that determine our success. What really makes the difference is how we respond to those challenges. Will we quit when things get hard, or will we keep pushing forward even when it feels like there's no way out? Persistence is the answer. It's the determination to keep going even when the road gets rough, the willpower to keep moving forward when it seems like nothing is working. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, because you know that success is built on small, consistent efforts. I want you to think about the most successful people you know. Think about someone who has accomplished something truly remarkable in their life, whether it's in business, sports, or any other field. I can guarantee you that one thing they all have in common is persistence. They didn't get where they are by giving up when things got hard. They didn't reach their level of success by taking shortcuts or quitting at the first sign of difficulty. They kept going when everyone else might have given up, and that's why they're successful. Success isn't about being the smartest, the most talented, or having the most resources. It's about being the one who keeps going. It's about doing the work when no one is watching, making progress, even when it feels like you're not getting anywhere. We live in a world where people expect instant results. The internet and social media have conditioned us to believe that everything should happen quickly. We can order food in minutes, find information in seconds, and get things delivered to our doorsteps almost immediately. But here's the thing, success doesn't work that way. Real success takes time. It's the result of years of hard work, dedication, and persistence. It's not about taking shortcuts. It's not about finding the easiest path to success. It's about showing up every day, doing the work, and refusing to quit. That's the kind of persistence you need to make your dreams a reality. When things aren't going well, it's easy to think about giving up. You'll face setbacks. You'll have moments where you feel like you're not making any progress, and you'll wonder if it's all worth it. I'm here to tell you, it is. The most successful people are the ones who keep going when everyone else would have thrown in the towel. They know that every setback is just a lesson in disguise. Every failure is an opportunity to learn and grow. Every mistake is a stepping stone towards success. You see, persistence isn't just about continuing to move forward. It's about learning from your mistakes and using those lessons to improve. When you face a setback, don't let it discourage you. Instead, use it as fuel to keep going. Every time you get knocked down, get back up with more determination. Because the only way to truly fail is to stop trying. I'm sure you've heard the story of Thomas Edison, the man who invented the light bulb. He failed thousands of times before he finally figured it out. Imagine that, thousands of failures. And yet he never gave up. When asked about his failure, Edison famously said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That's the mindset of persistence. It's about seeing every failure as a lesson, not as a reason to quit. It's about understanding that setbacks are a part of the process, not the end of the road. But let me be clear. Persistence doesn't mean blindly continuing down the same path without ever adjusting. Persistence means having the strength to keep going, but also the wisdom to know when to pivot, when to adjust your strategy, and when to learn from the setbacks you've encountered. It's about being flexible and adaptable, but never giving up. Sometimes, the road to success doesn't look the way you imagined. Sometimes, you have to try a different approach, but no matter what, you must keep going. Persistence is also about consistency. It's the little things, done consistently over time, that add up to big results. You won't see overnight success, and that's okay. Don't compare yourself to someone who is ahead of you, or to someone who seems to have it all figured out. Everyone's journey is different, and the key to success is showing up every day, doing the work, and trusting that over time it will pay off. You don't need to make huge leaps every day. The key is to make consistent progress, no matter how small it might seem. Even if you only move forward a little bit each day, at the end of the year, you'll have made tremendous strides. It's about the long game. If you want to be successful, you have to build a habit of persistence. It's about creating a routine, sticking to it, and pushing through, even when you don't feel like it. There will be days when you're tired, when you feel discouraged, and when you question if it's all worth it. But let me tell you, those are the moments that define you. The difference between success and failure isn't talent, it's persistence. It's the ability to keep going when everything in you is telling you to quit. It's the ability to keep moving forward, even when it feels like you're getting nowhere. It's the determination to keep going, even when you feel like you're stuck. Another important part of persistence is resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to recover from failure, and to keep going, even when things get tough. It's about not letting obstacles stop you. You'll face challenges in your journey. That's a guarantee. But it's how you respond to those challenges that will determine whether you succeed or not. If you let obstacles stop you, you'll never get anywhere. But if you face those challenges head on, learn from them, and keep moving forward, you'll eventually reach your destination. Resilience is built through persistence. The more you push through, the stronger you become. And the stronger you become, the more you can handle the challenges that life throws your way. One of the most important things to remember about persistence is that it doesn't require perfection. You don't have to be perfect to succeed. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to do everything right. What you need is the willingness to keep trying, the courage to keep moving forward, and the humility to learn from your mistake. You don't have to be perfect to achieve great things, but you do have to be persistent. So if you're struggling right now, if you're feeling like you're not making progress, I want you to know that it's okay. Everyone faces setbacks. Everyone has moments when they doubt themselves. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that the successful ones keep going. They keep putting in the effort, even when it seems like nothing is working. They don't give up when things get hard. They keep going, one step at a time. You have that same power inside of you. You have the ability to keep going, to push through, to overcome whatever challenges are in front of you. The only thing standing between you and your success is your willingness to keep going. No matter how difficult the road gets, keep going, because persistence is the key. You'll get there, one step at a time. Keep going. Your success is waiting on the other side of persistence.
Number 9, mastering communication. Speak with clarity and confidence. Communication is a skill that we often take for granted, yet it is one of the most powerful tools you will ever possess in life. It has the potential to shape your relationships, propel your career, and open doors to opportunities you might have never thought possible. We communicate all the time, whether it's with our friends, family, coworkers, or even strangers. But how effective are we really at communicating? Effective communication isn't just about speaking. It's about being understood, listening, and creating meaningful exchanges that have a lasting impact. Think about the people in your life who really stand out. Maybe it's a mentor, a colleague, or even a friend. One thing they likely all have in common is the ability to communicate clearly. They know how to get their message across without confusion. They know how to listen and empathize, and they know how to build trust through their words. This skill is not just reserved for the naturally charismatic individuals. It's something anyone can master with the right approach. But too often we overlook it. We take our ability to speak for granted and forget just how much of a difference good communication can make. When I talk about communication, I'm not just referring to what you say. I'm talking about how you say it, your tone of voice, your body language, the words you choose. All of these elements play a significant role in how your message is received. Communication is about more than just getting your point across. It's about making a connection, fostering understanding, and creating an environment where people feel heard. If you want to succeed in life, whether in your career, relationships, or personal development, you need to become a master at communicating. The first step to mastering communication is understanding that it's a two-way street. Far too often, people focus solely on how they can communicate their own thoughts, without considering how well they are listening. If you want to be a great communicator, you need to learn how to listen. I mean, truly listen. Not just hear what someone is saying, but listen to understand. When you're in a conversation, are you truly engaged in what the other person is saying? Or are you just waiting for your turn to speak? Listening is one of the most underappreciated skills in communication, but it's also one of the most important. When you listen actively, you show the other person that you value their thoughts and feelings. You create a space where they feel heard, which builds trust and strengthens relationships. Another critical aspect of communication is being clear and concise. It's easy to ramble on, especially when we feel passionate about something. But the truth is, people don't have the time or patience for long-winded explanations. If you want your message to be received effectively, you need to get to the point. That doesn't mean you should strip away all the details or make things overly simplistic. Rather, it means you need to focus on what's important and communicate it in a way that's easy to understand. A clear, concise message is much more likely to stick with someone than a long, complicated one. Think about how often we tune out when someone starts talking for too long. Our attention spans are limited, and we only have so much energy to give. So when you communicate, make every word count. The way you communicate can also have a significant impact on your relationships. Whether you're talking to a spouse, a friend, a coworker, or even a stranger, your words and tone can either build rapport or tear it down. Think about how you feel when someone speaks to you in an angry or condescending tone. It doesn't matter how important the information they're conveying is. The way they speak to you immediately affects how you receive their message. If you want to foster strong, positive relationships, you need to communicate with respect, kindness, and empathy. How you make people feel when they're talking to you is just as important, if not more important, than the words you say. One of the most powerful tools in communication is the ability to ask the right questions. Questions open up a dialogue and show the other person that you're interested in what they have to say. But not all questions are created equal. Asking questions that invite deeper conversation, rather than just yes or no answers, can open up new perspectives and insight. The more you understand about the person you're communicating with, the better equipped you'll be to respond thoughtfully. Asking the right questions also shows that you care about the other person's point of view. It's a way of engaging with someone on a deeper level, rather than simply exchanging surface-level pleasantries. While it's important to be a good listener and ask thoughtful questions, it's equally important to be aware of how you express your own thoughts. Words have power, and the way you use them can create connection or distance. Your choice of words can inspire, motivate, and encourage, but they can also hurt, discourage, and create tension. I want you to think about how you feel when someone speaks to you in a positive, uplifting way. Their words make you feel seen, valued, and respected. Now think about how you feel when someone speaks to you in a harsh or dismissive way. Their words may make you feel unimportant, frustrated, or even angry. Words can have a lasting impact, so it's crucial to choose them wisely. Be conscious of the energy you bring to the conversation and how your words contribute to the atmosphere around you. Nonverbal communication is another key aspect that often gets overlooked. Your body language,
facial expressions, and eye contact can all communicate just as much, if not more, than the words you say. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone who's looking at their phone the entire time? Or maybe they're crossing their arms and avoiding eye contact. Even if they're saying all the right things, their body language tells a different story. It's easy for people to pick up on nonverbal cues, so make sure your body language aligns with the message you're trying to convey. If you want to show that you're engaged and present in a conversation, maintain eye contact, avoid distractions, and use open, welcoming body language. When you master communication, you'll also find that you have more influence over the people around you. Whether you're in a meeting, negotiating a deal, or simply having a conversation with a friend, the way you communicate can shape how people perceive you. Good communicators have the ability to persuade, influence, and inspire others with their words. They know how to make their message resonate with people and how to leave a lasting impression. If you want to be successful in life, you need to become the kind of communicator who can inspire action, create understanding, and motivate others to reach their potential. Of course, effective communication isn't just about what you say or how you say it. It's also about being authentic. People can sense when you're not being genuine, and that can damage your credibility and trustworthiness. If you want to truly connect with people, you need to communicate from a place of honesty and vulnerability. Be true to yourself, and don't try to put on a facade just to impress others. Authenticity breeds trust, and trust is the foundation of any successful relationship. If there's one thing I want you to take away from all of this, it's that communication is a skill you can always improve. It's not something that you're either born with or without. It's something you can develop with practice. And the more you invest in improving your communication, the more successful you'll become, both personally and professionally. Good communication is the key to building strong relationships, opening doors to new opportunities, and achieving success in every area of your life. It's something you can always work on, and the more you practice, the better you'll get. So start today. Listen more, speak with intention, ask meaningful questions, and choose your words carefully. Master the art of communication, and watch your life transform. Number 10. The power of persistence. Never give up. Persistence is one of the most crucial traits you can develop if you want to succeed in life. It's easy to start something when you're excited and motivated, but what happens when the initial excitement fades away? What happens when the obstacles start piling up? When things get tough? When it feels like the world is against you? The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't always talent, luck, or intelligence. The biggest factor is often simply how long you're willing to keep going in the face of adversity. It's the ability to push through when things aren't going your way. It's the strength to keep moving forward when you feel like giving up. This is where persistence comes in. You've probably heard it said that success is about never giving up. It's true, but it's important to understand why that's so. Persistence isn't just about stubbornly refusing to quit. It's about consistently putting in the effort, day after day, even when things aren't going perfectly. It's about showing up, even when the results aren't immediate. The people who succeed in life aren't necessarily the ones with the most natural talent, but they are the ones who keep showing up, who keep pushing forward when the going gets tough. The key is not giving up just because you hit a rough patch. One of the biggest reasons people give up too soon is because they expect instant results. In today's world, we've become so accustomed to immediate gratification. We want things to happen quickly, whether it's success in our career, achieving personal goals, or seeing the results of our hard work. But that's not how success works. Real success takes time. It takes effort. It takes years of grinding away, learning from mistakes, and improving every single day. If you give up too soon, you'll never know what could have been just around the corner. You might be one more step away from your breakthrough, but because you stopped, you'll never get there. That's why persistence is key. It's about staying the course, even when the results aren't immediately visible. Think about some of the most successful people in the world, people who have accomplished things that most of us only dream of. I can promise you that their journey wasn't easy. They faced rejection, failure, and moments of doubt just like everyone else. What set them apart wasn't their ability to avoid failure. It was their ability to keep going in spite of it. They didn't let setbacks define them. Instead, they used those setbacks as learning opportunities. They understood that every failure was just another step closer to success. When you adopt this mindset, you'll begin to see failure not as something to fear, but as something to embrace. It's all part of the process. It's how you grow, how you learn, and how you get closer to where you want to be. Persistence is also about consistency. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, even when the results are slow, even when you're tired or discouraged. The world isn't always going to cheer you on. In fact, there will be times when you're the only one who believes in your vision. But that's okay. You don't need everyone's approval. What matters is that you believe in yourself. You trust the process, and you stay consistent with your effort. Over time, those small, consistent actions add up to something big. It might not seem like much in the moment, but when you look back, you'll see how far you've come. That's the power of effort. Persistence. You've probably heard the phrase, Rome wasn't built in a day. While it might sound cliche, there's a lot of truth to it. Success doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, effort, and a lot of patience. You have to be willing to put in the work, even when it feels like you're not getting anywhere. You have to trust that every small step is taking you closer to your goal. And when you face setbacks, when you hit walls, when things don't go as planned, that's when persistence really matters. Effort. That's when you have to remind yourself that success isn't a straight line. There will be ups and downs, twists and turns, but as long as you keep going, you're making progress. Let me tell you something about failure. Effort. It's not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. You will fail along the way, and that's okay. It's not a sign that you should quit. It's just part of the journey. The key is how you respond to failure. You can either let it stop you, or you can use it as fuel to keep going. The most successful people in the world have all failed at some point. But what made them successful was their ability to persist. They didn't let failure define them, and they learned from it and kept moving forward. There will be times when the road ahead seems unclear, when you don't know what the next step is, when you're feeling lost or stuck. In those moments, persistence is what will keep you going. It's about having faith in yourself and in the process. It's about trusting that you're on the right path, even when it feels like nothing is happening. You see, progress is often invisible. It happens behind the scenes, and sometimes it takes longer than you expect. But if you keep moving, if you stay persistent, eventually the results will show up. And when they do, you'll realize that every step, every challenge, every moment of doubt was worth it. Another important thing to understand about persistence is that it's not about blindly pushing through without considering your approach. Sometimes persistence requires adaptability. It requires you to be flexible and adjust your strategies when something isn't working. Being persistent doesn't mean doing the same thing over and over and without results. It means continuing to move forward and while learning, improving, and evolving. It's about finding new ways to overcome obstacles and being willing to change course when necessary. Persistence means never giving up on the goal, but being smart about how you get there. One of the most powerful things about persistence is that it's contagious. When you demonstrate persistence in your own life, it inspires those around you. It shows others what's possible when you keep going, even when things are tough. Your persistence can motivate others to push through their own challenges, and in turn, you create a ripple effect of determination and resilience. Success isn't just about what you achieve. It's also about the impact you have on others. When you persist, you become a source of inspiration for those who need it most. Finally, persistence is about having a strong why. When things get tough, and they will get tough, you need to have a reason to keep going. You need a clear purpose that drives you, something bigger than just personal gain. When your why is strong enough, when you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve and why it matters, nothing will be able to stop you. Your persistence will be fueled by that vision, and you'll keep going, no matter what. When the going gets tough, remind yourself why you started in the first place. Let that why be your guiding light, your source of strength, and your motivation to never give up. Persistence is the difference between success and failure. It's the ability to keep going, even when it feels like the world is against you. It's the strength to continue when the journey gets tough, and it's the key to achieving your goals, no matter how big or small. If you can master persistence, you can master anything. Keep going, keep pushing, and never give up. Success is just around the corner, and the only way to reach it is to persist. Stay the course no matter what, because when you do, nothing will be able to stop you.